Okay, the list of ingredients for the s'mores bars. You will need 1/2 cup of butter, and you'll need that at room temperature. You'll need 1/4 cup of brown sugar, 1/2 cup of sugar, 1 large egg, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, 1 1/2 cups of all-purpose flour, 3/4 cup of graham cracker crumbs, a teaspoon of baking powder, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 2 king-size Hershey bars, and 1 1/2 cups of the marshmallow fluff. Okay, the recipe calls for a 8-inch pan. I got a couple of these 8x8 pans because I'm taking this to a fall festival tonight and I needed the tops. So I'm hoping the extra 8 inches is actually going to help me, but that's what it says, an 8-inch square baking pan. You need to preheat your oven at 350 and grease an 8-inch square baking pan. Okay, and now in a large bowl, you're going to need to cream together the butter and all of the sugars until it's lightly whipped. You'll also need to beat in your eggs and the vanilla. And in a small bowl, you're going to whisk together the flour, the graham cracker crumbs, and the baking powder and salt. And then we'll add the butter mixture. Alright, so I guess we're going to take this large bowl and we're going to go ahead and put the butter and the sugars in here, and then we will work on the rest. Okay, here's my large bowl. I'm just going to put 1/4 cup of brown sugar, and I'm going to put that 1/2 cup of white sugar right in the bowl, and then we are to put the butter in here, and we are going to let the mixer do its thing and whip it good. And now we've got our butter and sugars in the mixer, and we're just going to mix these up before we add the egg and the vanilla. Okay, I went ahead and added the egg and the vanilla, and now I'm just going to mix it all together. While your egg and sugar mixture is mixing, you're going to take a smaller bowl and we're going to add the flour, which is 1 1/3 cup, and we're also going to add those graham cracker crumbs, which is 3/4 cup, and we're just going to mix them together. Now to get the graham cracker crumbs crushed up, of course they don't have to be perfect. I just placed mine in a Ziploc bag and used a rolling pin and just kind of gently you know, crush them up with the rolling pin, or you can put them in your food processor, whatever works for you. But go ahead and mix those two up, because now we're going to add this to the sugar mixture. Okay, now we're going to take our flour mixture along with a teaspoon of the baking powder, and we're going to add it to that sugar mixture. And this is what happens when I am in the kitchen. I did not lock the mixer, and I just started it, and of course now I've got all this everywhere. So let me clean that up. Okay, now once your mixture has completed its mixing cycle, you'll want to divide this. We need a portion for the bottom of the cake and a portion for the top. And now comes the fun part. Don't forget to lightly grease your pan, your 8-inch pan, and we're going to put half of our mixture on the bottom. We're going to press it really good, and it's going to form the crust. Okay, now that you have pressed half of your dough an even layer onto the bottom, we're now going to open the chocolate bars, and we're going to put the chocolate bars right on top of your dough. Now it says you can comfortably fit 2 of these king-size chocolate bars in this 8-inch pan, but remember mine's an 8x8, and I don't know, maybe we'll be able to get 2. I might have to trim some of the chocolate off of it. But now we're going to go ahead and add the yummy chocolate to our s'more dough. Okay, and just as I thought, I'm going to have to trim off like 4 of my blocks of Hershey's because it's just a little bit too big for my pan. so I get to eat yummy this 4. All right, so I'm gonna trim these off, and then we're gonna just put them right there in the middle, and then maybe, I don't know, I can push that up and maybe get a row right in here. Yeah, that'll work. All right, and then I'll just trim up this other bar and add the rest. But yeah, I don't think 2 is gonna fit in this pan, and this is an even bigger pan than they suggested, so you'll just have to break up your bars and just lay them out into a perfect square. Okay, see, I just pieced together that last chocolate bar, and I still ended up with a good 8 squares left, so that's what it will look like. Now we are going to add the marshmallow fluff right there on top, and then on the very top is going to be the remainder of the dough. Okay, and I know there's a measurement of how much I'm supposed to actually use, but I'm just going to just start adding it, and if we have too much, then we have too much. If we don't, then we can add more. But go ahead and spread that on top of your chocolate. And they say it's better to use the marshmallow fluff over the marshmallows, because, I don't know, this has some kind of something in it that doesn't cause it to evaporate. Because, you know, if you put marshmallows in the oven, they will completely evaporate. Alright, so go ahead and add the mixture of yummy marshmallow on top. Okay, marshmallow fluff, check. Now we just have to add the remaining dough mixture on top, and then we can bake it. Okay, and here's what the finished product will look like before it goes into the oven after you've added that remaining dough on top. This was a bit of a messy dessert to make, but I don't know, I hope it tastes good. If not, we'll be stopping by the grocery store on the way to the fall festival tonight. And now all we have to do is pop it into the oven for about 30 to 35 minutes until it's good and golden brown on the top. Okay, and here is what our s'mores cake looks like after it has cooked. I cooked it for 30 minutes. You can see it's good and golden brown, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to let it cool for just a little bit longer, and then I'm just going to cut it in bars. I'm not going to serve it as a cake, but I'm going to serve it as bars. Mainly because I want to taste one and show you guys what it looks like, and if I took a slice out of it, then yeah, it wouldn't look too good if I took it tonight. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and cut it in bars, and then we will taste it and see what it looks like. Okay guys, here is what it looks like. I have cut it into bars. It was really messy. I think I'm going to let it go ahead and set up for just a little bit longer, because it needs to firm a little bit. But oh my goodness, it tastes so good. It definitely tastes like a s'more. So I highly recommend this recipe, and I'm going to leave the original link down below. Be sure to check it out and try this. I hope everybody likes it. If not, I'll just bring it home with me.